train on. Well, it's slow. We've got, that's better, you can probably hear me now. That's the automatic dust extractor switching off. Well, let's take you for a little tour and show you what we've done. Okay, well behind me you can probably see, if I just move sideways slightly, that we've got quite a lot of area of the starboard side scraped off. It's been extremely hard work, but it's actually coming quite well. Just tripping over all the stands, and once we've stripped it, then we start the sanding, which you just saw me doing. And if I move forward, you can see the bow section, and we got that done yesterday morning. We can only really work this side until about 12:30 because the sun comes over and it just gets blisteringly hot and you're in direct sunlight. If I turn you round, that's the view of the sky this morning. Yeah, we've started to work on the tunnel there. It's the bow thruster tunnel, and again, that's pretty difficult. We're finding that to scrape in places like that, we're having to use a chemical scraper or chemical stripper, and then scrape with small scrapers and coarse sandpaper. It's hard work, but it's coming. And let's take you around the other side. As you can see here, we've still got this to do. We're waiting for new blades for our scrapers to arrive. We're finding we're going through blades on the scrapers very, very quickly. I started to take the prop off last week, and the puller we bought just destroyed itself within a matter of minutes. So at the weekend, back in the workshop, I made up a puller and I stuck it all on there yesterday. And I thought, oh, I'll just go and get the camera. And then, just being a bit too eager, I thought, I'll just give it a little try. And it popped off, didn't it? So what I should do is, when we put it all back on, I'll show you the puller that I've made and how I used a 2-ton bottle jack to get the prop off. And you might find that quite interesting. Very simple idea. Wish I'd done it at the start, but there you go. Anodes out, they were a little bit difficult. I got a little bit of gel coat repair to make around here, where they obviously doing them up had crushed the gel coat, so I just want to put a little bit of gel coat repair in there, so that can all be nice, and when it's put back it will be nice and watertight. And that's about it at the moment. It's just hard work, lots and lots of hard work, and apart from the fact that it's all overhead and your arms get tired, when the sun comes around, you just can't stand there working with the sun on your back for very long. So and it's been too windy. Yesterday was relatively calm, but the wind's already howling here again today, and we can't put a tarp up for shade or anything like that. It will just get ripped off. Okay, well that's the update. We're going to get on with the work this morning and try and sort of keep you in the loop as we get done. It's pretty boring now. It's just a matter of getting it all sanded off, and then we can start thinking about putting the copper coat on. Well, we're getting on quite well with the stripping. As you can see, we've got the bow port section just left to do today, and in a minute we're going to try and rig up some sort of shade cover because it's going to get pretty hot here this morning. Very pleased with the way it's gone. What we've done is we've hand scraped it first of all to get down to the original primer coat, the grey primer coat, then use that as what's called a shadow coat, so that when we're sanding we don't take off too much in too many places, and literally just sanding across and removing the grey primer, and that's it. Once you've gone that far, that's as far as you need to go, and you can see then everywhere that you've been, and as you can see, it comes out just like, well, it's naked hull of the boat, just as it would have come out the mould almost. It would have probably come out the mould a bit more shiny than that, covered in wax, but it's giving us a really good base to get the epoxy coating on when we start the copper coat, hopefully next week. Weather's looking good. Every day here now it is warm and dry. We've got a friend who's got a moisture meter and is going to pop along, and we're going to do some moisture checks on the hull just to make sure. But you can tell that it is absolutely bone dry. There hasn't been a single blister in the hull anywhere, and the anti-osmosis resin that the manufacturer's Hunter used when it was built 11 years ago has worked 100%, and very, very pleased with that, and credit to Hunter really. The boat has been in the water ever since I've owned it, when I bought it new in 2006, and it was in the water when I bought it, and it's, apart from a few months when we went to America in 2015, and we lifted the boat out in this yard and put it here while we went to America so it was safe. It's been in the water constantly, and if you were going to get an osmosis problem, we would have definitely had one. It's been in warm waters in the Caribbean. It's spent 3 years out there, South America, Caribbean. The waters here get pretty warm in the summer, and the river water gets pretty warm. So it's been in the worst places that it could possibly be for an osmosis problem, and there is nothing on it at all, not a single blister. The hull is in fabulous condition. Got a few scratches, which are obviously from debris that you invariably come across when you're sailing, but nothing major. We don't have any major repair problems to do. So a little bit of epoxy primer in a couple of scratches will sort out anything that we've got, and I feel very, very confident that the copper coat will adhere well to the prepared hull, and I don't think we'll get any problems. But that will be next week, and hopefully we'll be making a bit of a video about that. It's been extremely difficult to video. You get covered obviously in the sanding dust, which is basically powdered anti-foul, and it's not very nice. It gets into your pores, your skin, under your fingernails and everything, and we are obviously conscious of this dust getting into the cameras and things. Hopefully we've managed to show you a brief insight into the hours and hours of hard work. It will have taken us probably about 10 days in all to get all the hull scraped and sanded down. However, we are getting fitter, so it's probably a good shakedown for getting us in shape for the trip to come. So let's get on with it.
Scraping, and I've got evidence to prove it. Here I either look like I've got a circulation problem, or I am definitely turning into a Smurf. after plenty of showering, it doesn't want to come off anymore. Blue I am, blue I stay.
Yesterday we got it stripped. She's naked. The majority of the work, the back-breaking work of getting everything off, is done. Some people would ask, why are we doing this? I've experienced all different types of antifouls in my life. None of them work. Simple answer, no antifoul anywhere in the world will work. Stuff will grow on it, slime will grow on it, you'll end up in a year's time, you'll haul the boat out, you'll pressure wash it off, and you'll scrub it back and you'll reapply. Antifoul, there isn't such a thing. Stuff will find a way to grow on it. The advantage that I found with copper coat was, last time I was doing the Atlantic circuit, I would go in and scrub my boat on a weekly basis. I used to look at it like being at home and cutting the grass. You know, grass grows, fouling grows. You have to cut the grass, you have to scrub the boat. So every week I would go under and I'd scrub the whole boat underwater. And every time I scrubbed it, all these blue clouds would come off, which was the antifoul coming off. So the more you scrubbed it, the more you took the antifouling off. Some friends had a copper coated boat, and they had to go under exactly the same and scrub it on a weekly basis. The big difference was that when they scrubbed it, it left the copper coat behind. Yes, you could argue a hard racing antifoul would do the same. It may do. It will not last as long. Copper coat, I've seen boats that are 10, 11, 12 years plus old since they've had copper coat applied, or a copper coat, copper in suspension of epoxy, that's basically what it is. They had that applied and it is still there. The secret is, like with all work, any finish work on a boat, any finish work on painting or antifouling, the secret is the preparation and the application. The preparation has to be 100%. The application has to be right. You have to have the right humidity, the right temperature. Where we are here, we're very, very lucky. We're extremely dry, very, very low humidity. Ambient temperature this time of year hovers around the 30 degrees plus. So we're in an ideal condition for applying copper coat. I would always really recommend, if you can do it and you can find a shop to do it in, get the boat inside. We haven't had that luxury, we've had to do with what we got here. Second best, it's a pretty good second best, and I think we'll have an excellent result. You can follow us as we travel. We're setting off in September. Follow us on our blog, on our website, on this YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see as well just how good this coating is, and was it worth all this hard work.